Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Kaiser Gaming, and in today's video, I want to share with you one of the fastest possible uptimes to Age 2, the classical age, that you can get in the game. You can pull this build off with Poseidon, and it's a really cool way to get out an insanely powerful economic boom quickly. Now, I want to give credit where it's due. I didn't come up with this build myself. I've really been enjoying watching I Am Magic's Age of Mythology videos. He's a really good AOM player, and he's been putting out some awesome build videos. So I've got a link in the description below to his channel and to his Greek build order video. But I've been playing around with it. I thought it'd be fun to take it to the ladder and try it out for myself. And in today's video, I want to show you this build at work. So let's dive right in. The secret code that you've got to know is 42752. 42752, okay? Those are the numbers that are in my head whenever I use this build. You start off with your first 4 villagers, you're throwing them onto hunt right away. And the secret sauce to Poseidon's build order is his god power lure. You're basically using this as a free granary to immediately get that food deposited into your bank without having to spend any wood on a granary, right? So your first 4 vills go to food. Your next 2 vills are going to go to gold, which we see right here. I'm going to put us back into regular speed now. And after we get 2 vills on gold, we've built our storehouse, right? We're going to then go back onto hunt and get our hunters up to 7. 4 to 7. I can count. 4 to 7. Right? So we get 7 vills on food, and we're going to be relying on those 7 hunters in order to get us enough food to keep the TC going and then go up to the classical age quickly. The whole idea here is we want to tap out right at 15 population. So, 4 to 7. Now that we have 7 villagers on food, we want to go back onto gold, and we want to get 5 villagers on gold. From 2 to 5, so we're adding 3 more, right? Our 3rd gold miner will almost immediately throw down a temple. Because you're going to have the wood and the gold necessary just about as soon as he arrives at the gold mine. So you get him working on gold, then you put 2 more on gold for a total of 5 on gold. Okay? After you do that, and you get a notification here, wow, I'm getting really close to reaching population capacity. That's the game plan. I want to try to top off my population without building a single house here in the archaic age. My hunters are still plugging away at hunt. I'm getting my next 2 villagers on wood, and I'm going to try to build this lumber camp very close to the hunters. Because what I want to do is pull these villagers from hunt onto wood as soon as we start teching up into the next stage. And you can see here at about the 2-minute 40-second mark, I've got about 350 food. So I may need to do a little bit of a drop-off here. Yeah, we've just hit our pop limit. There we go. All right, 2 minutes 50 seconds. We are on our way to the classical age. And I'm grabbing almost everybody and throwing them onto wood. Because the build that I'm doing, my goal is to get an early economy powerhouse going. I want a 2nd TC up ASAP, right? I think for a moment I left 2-1. In my experience, this build, I sometimes just get it off a little bit. And I would say even here, it's not perfect, right? But, you know, so you could try to leave 1 or 2 on food. But I go ahead and throw everybody on wood just to make sure that I have the wood I need to afford that TC as soon as possible. Now my 5 gold villagers. The game plan there is as soon as you have 350 gold, as soon as your gold piles down to, I think it's 2550, you grab them off of gold, you move them over to the town center, and you get to build in that TC ASAP. Alright, you'll notice I did pull them over to wood. That's a little bit of an adaptation because, again, my build was a little bit wonky, so I figured I'd help out with some wood. As soon as you build the town center, I'm going to pull most of my lumberjacks back onto food, because now I need a lot of food to support build production out of 2 TCs. And meanwhile, I've teched up with Hermes as my H2 god. I think he's a really powerful choice. I love getting out the centaur. And you can send the centaur to your enemy right away, just to be distracting, just to be annoying. Let's get these 4 vills off of food. You know, I'm not even necessarily trying to get a kill here. He's going to defend with his minotaur, but I'm just trying to be annoying. Let's turn on a reveal view so you can see everything going on. You'll notice he does have a 1 vill advantage on me. I'm not sure if that's because of idle TC time, or maybe that's me going up early, weakened my economy a little bit. But I've got 1 TC, he's got 2. So if he does not put pressure on right away, I should be in a really good spot. Even as I say that, he's getting up in the military academy right away. And he's doing a good job defending with the Minotaur. My attempt at pressure wasn't so great. I didn't accomplish a lot there. A military academy and then a stable. Now, in Age of Mythology, you don't need the barracks to build the stable. You could just jump straight over to the stable. But this is really good if you're wanting to get a mixed army. So I think that Zeus is going to go for some early game military pressure, even as I am going for more of an economic focus. As we see here, I've already got a Vill lead going. It's 2 Vills now. It's going to be more later. I'm going to go double stable. I like playing cavalry in general. I'm an AoE 2 player, so I'm very used to night rushes. But particularly, look at that. We got into a scout fight. I had more HP, but I was fighting by his TC, so he got the kill there. A little bit of a misplay on my end. But I think this combination of Poseidon, I mean, he's literally the god of horses, right? So you get some benefits playing cavalry as Poseidon. And then on top of that, you know, going Hermes as your second pick, he also is a cavalry-focused minor god. So the combination of the powers and the technologies that are available, not to mention, Ceasefire has its uses. It's helpful in a situation like this, maybe where you have an opponent who wants to rush you and you've got more of an eco focus. Being able to throw down Ceasefire can make or break your game. Okay, we are at the 7-minute mark in this match, and I have an over 7 Vill. It's a 9 Vill lead at this point. So I think the scoreboard is a little bit deceptive here. Trigger Happy here has 6,800 points to my 6,400, but honestly, I much prefer my position here. It's a much stronger economic situation. Now, I think, you know, the stronger economy does not guarantee you win the game. I think there's a vulnerability here. It takes time for that stronger ego to translate into stronger strength, military pressure, right? But I do have a lot of gas in the tank, and I think he needs to maybe accomplish... He's on a clock to try to accomplish something here. But I think at this point, let's just snapshot right here before we get into analyzing the rest of the match. I'll stop talking about the build in just a second here, but just notice how at the 8-minute mark, how much stronger, how much further along my economy is compared to him. I've got 24 on food to his 8, 11 on gold to his 6. He actually has a little bit more on wood than I do, but I think I'm in a very good spot economically. And here's our first really big battle. Let's see, Hippeos versus Hippeos. I think he's got a better all-around mix of units. I'm going all in on Cav. Did not really have the numbers there. And he had a mix, you know, he had Hippeos of his own. But not only that, he has the Minotaur. He has, I think, some hoplites. Yeah, he's got a handful of hoplites, which are anti-Cav units. I guess they're infantry that have a bonus damage versus Cav. So he's going to start applying pressure. I was a little bit greedy, trying to claim these berries in the middle. I'm now forced to back off. I have my centaur that I'm hoping to kind of, you know, the arrow storm I'm hoping does some serious damage here. I think this Minotaur is putting in some serious work. My hero dies. Yeah, my army falls apart. take a look. He's got 41 military to my 6. Okay, so I would not highlight this video. I think I probably misplayed. I think taking that fight was a mistake. The hoplites, I think, really melted there on top of the Minotaur, doing a great job. So I think he's in a really good spot militarily, and I think he could punish my greed here. Let's see what he does. Let's see, who is it? Is that Jason, right? I think that's Jason. Leader of the Argonauts, leading Zeus's force there. And I think, fortunately for me, he's not pressing his advantage. He's wanting to pull back. He's wanting to, you know, make sure that when he attacks, that he feels like he's in a good spot. Ultimately, though, that's a mistake. I got a 20 bill lead on Trigger Happy. And that was at the 10-minute mark. At the 10-minute mark, I've got a 20 bill lead. Because he's going all in on military. He's on one town center. And he's not pressing his advantage. That says 48 military. I don't think that's all military. Or it's all right here. I think some of that's back at base. But still, he has a military lead, no doubt. And I recognize, you know, I'm looking at the scoreboard here, and I know I've taken some serious losses. But when I look at the scoreboard and I realize, wow, I'm actually ahead, that's a clue for me that I'm getting some serious work in. So, yeah, the economy is working. So what I decide to do, because I know that I'm a cavalry, you know, force, my strength is in mobility. I'll attack him where his army is not. So I'm moving my cav in, gonna try to find some picks, try to make that eco difference even greater for me. Trying to lure his army away with this force over here. Meanwhile, hoping I can get some kills with just a couple cav. Meanwhile, he decides to go for some aggression of his own. Back at home, I'm mixing in archers. My game plan is to go like knights, Hipeus and Ochotes, cav and archers, right? And the thought process there is archers are just a great backline unit, and they'll do a wonderful job thinning out the hoplite numbers. Meanwhile, the cav can serve as a front line, so the archers can get the job done. I think it's a really good combination. I am taking some hits here. The militia for Poseidon. It's a really nice little thing, helps sort of slow down his push ever so slightly. And I really like archers for this reason. You know, it's like he's not allowed to... As he attacks my buildings, his army slowly weakens away. I'm scared of the cav right now. I do have watchtowers picking away at the enemy. I have a 33 vil lead, so as long as he doesn't go for the kill, I think I'm in a good spot. Getting out some barracks of my own. Zeus, trigger happy, getting onto farms, which I don't think is obviously it's not a bad idea, although I will say, we're playing on Anatolia, and you will notice that this landmass in the middle is flanked by ocean on both sides, a lot of fish, and I think a misplay that we both made was not taking advantage of that water. Especially me, because I have a base right here. It really would not take that much for me to send a villager over, throw it on a dock, and get out some fishing ships. And that would be more cost efficient than throwing down farms like I have and like Trigger Happy has. So I've got a 30 vil lead. He has nearly a 40 count military lead. He's got a mix of Hipeus, hoplites, Ochotes. He's got a Minotaur, but that Minotaur has 3 HP, so you hear him go down. Okay, these archers. Oh, I'm gonna lose a lot of archers here. They don't have a front line. His army is taking serious damage. You know, I don't mind losing my army if he loses his in the process, but I realize I've misplayed this, and so I've got ceasefire. Pop that, and that gives me 30 seconds to just breathe, reset, try to get out of front line. He uses Restoration, which heals up his force. That's a really good choice. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of his units were at half health. So meanwhile, let me go back to my point of view. More archers coming out, more hoplites, and he sees now my second base. And this is going to be a critical moment in this match. He's going for the kill. And I'd say if he gets this town center down, there are 22 vills in there. If they die, it's not exactly economic parity, but it's pretty close. But as he's attacking the TC, I'm just slowly whittling away at his force with my archers. Getting out to repair the TC, trying to do this dance between repairing the TC and hopping back in. He's losing a lot of military here. Hoplites in front, soaking up some damage. Heracles, the Greek name for Hercules, goes down for the count. Got him. Right in the heel. So, he just lost that whole army, right? Bunch of guys just died right there. Comparatively, I mean, my TC almost went down, but it didn't. Most of my vills were saved, and ultimately that was a huge win for us. So now we're looking at... Actually, right now I have military lead, I have eco lead. Things are looking up. I just send my villagers forward to collect gold, and sure enough, he actually has now built a second town center. I am on the way up with... actually, I think we both are going up with Dionysius. So, his whole thing is cavalry. So I'm tripling down on the cavalry thing. I've got Poseidon, I've got Hermes, I've got Dionysius. He's also going Dionysius, so it's kind of not exactly a mirror match, but a lot of similar powers there. Bronze. Turning our units, encasing them in bronze, making them much harder to kill. A little bit of a misplay by me. I let my archers get caught out. And my military lead was very temporary here. They melt. They fall down. And now he has a 46 army lead over me. Part of that's the Pegasus. He goes down. Poor guy, huh? Woe is horse. Okay. So now we're both in age 3. I am trying to pick up my blacksmith upgrades ASAP. Bringing these vills over to collect gold over here. You know, I wasn't able to collect the gold on this side. Kind of hoping that that wouldn't happen. And I see, with the militia, I think Poseidon's militia may be undervalued. It's really cool, it slows the enemy down, but also it was really huge in this game because I happened to look over to watch my mining camp get blown up. And it was the militia that bought enough time for me to look over and realize he was going into cavalry. So I've got 22 vills here, and it looks like they might be in some trouble. And now that I'm in age 3, I've elected to go to Podromos as my unit of choice. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a bunch of vills here that don't have to die. Again, some misplays here, but I have such an equal lead I can afford this loss, and it gives me time to get my army in place. The Podromos, they are a cavalry unit that does bonus damage against other cavalry. So, if I'm not mistaken, the Hippeus is a better all-around unit, but the Podromos will be better against this Hippeus front line that Zeus has. Both of us have activated our bronze powers. I lose my Hydra. And it's at this moment I decide to pull back my cavalry, live to fight another day, don't sacrifice everything here. Specifically, I wanted to pull back and sort of wait for his bronze power to fall off. Trying to get my guys to garrison. And it's looking like he's going to go for round 2 against this town center. I just very quickly want to highlight here, not doing a lot of expanding with his second base. He's kind of got that locked down, but again, the eco is not really there. He has killed a lot though. I only have a 10-vil lead at this point. Less than 10. Okay. So let's not get cocky here, right? The scoreboard has really closed up. He's getting a lot of good damage in. But part of his army gets peeled away. I'm able to, you know, take his army on in bite-sized pieces. And that's huge. His Hydra goes down, and now it's just archers versus my Rodromos. His archers have not been upgraded to H2. I cannot tell whether he's picked up his blacksmith techs or not. I don't think so. Yeah, I've got a 7-vil lead. So the vil count has dropped a lot, but I am now the one with a 30 army military lead. He's got a couple of hoplites, but I'm hoping that at this point in age 3, I'm hoping that my powerful cavalry can kind of overwhelm, you know, the handful of anti-cav units that he has, just with sheer numbers. I decided to pull back. I feel like I'm in a good spot. And again, I recognize, hey, I've got the faster army. I haven't hit his base in a while. Let me go see if I can find some vulnerabilities. Especially, I want to see if he's taken this town center or not. Vil lead, a 26 army lead. And I see some exposed opportunities here. A bunch of Vils maybe caught out. We're up 13 Vil lead advantage. Yep, and he's losing guys left and right. The army's not moving. I'm not sure if you realized it. He goes ahead and calls the GG. And Iron Kaiser, victory! We win with an incredible opening build. Now, am I a pro player? No, I am not. Were there some mistakes here? Absolutely. In fact, I think that's the fun of Iron Kaiser Gaming, or whether you're watching my games or some of the games that I cast. I love watching just, you know, the regular matches and the mistakes. I think there were some mistakes. I took several fights early on that didn't work out so well, but I definitely also should have taken advantage of the water. Both of us should have. But I do think it also demonstrates just how incredibly powerful this opening is for Poseidon. So I encourage you guys to give it a shot. Remember, what was it? 42752. 42752 is the secret code to having an incredible opening with Poseidon. Now play around with that. Check out I Am Magic's video in the description below if you want to see a more thorough rundown of how that build works. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Please consider sharing the video and just let me know in the comments below what you want to see next. I really appreciate you guys. For now, this is the Iron Kaiser signing off. Have a great one up there. See you around.